Let's talk about Dragon Ball Daima Episode 1. As Akira Toriyama's last work before he passed away, may he rest in peace, I was very adamant about watching this on day one release, and I'm very glad that I did. The animation and pure spectacle of this episode was phenomenal. You get to see some of your favorite Dragon Ball Z scenes reanimated, like Majin Vegeta versus Goku, Gohan versus Buu, Gotenks versus Buu, etc., etc. And the main reason is because half of the episode are these two watching the events of the Buu saga. And as a quick disclaimer for those who don't know, Dragon Ball Daima takes place before Dragon Ball Super. And even though it was obviously for recap, it was for the story as well. Because King Dabura, right here, if you know from the Buu saga, was the king of the Demon Realm. But because he lost and was unalived by Majin Buu, he is now the new king of the Demon Realm. His name is Goma, or now would be called Demon King Goma, and if this guy looks familiar from the back, it's because he is indeed a Kai. However, he's not the Supreme Kai, he's the Supreme Kai's brother, and his name is Degesu. And after they go through the entire recap of the Buu saga, they see that Goku and his friends have actually defeated Majin Buu, and so they are terrified of them because they know how strong Majin Buu is. And so now that he's the new king, his concern is what if the humans were to come down to the Demon Realm, they would be able to easily overpower him and Degesu. So Goma gets the idea, just like Dragon Ball GT, to summon the Dragon Balls and actually wish them to be kids instead to therefore reduce their powers. Which is where things get undeniably a little bit contrived. They go back to the human realm, but they bring along a demon Namekian with them. And we already knew from the manga that Namekians existed all around the multiverse, so it's no surprise that there's one in the demon realm. But what is revealed is that Degesu says if you have pointy ears, including Dende and Mr. Popo, then that means your ancestors also came from the demon realm. So now moving forward, pointy ears means you are in some way related to the demon realm. At least, according to Degesu. Maybe he can be wrong with some other iterations, but as far as we know, pointy ears, demon realm. Now this part gets a little bit weird, because they get the Namekian, and then they go over to Dende's hideout to actually find the Dragon Balls. But the Dragon Balls have been used recently, so as you know, once you use them, their power drains and they become just balls, basically, balls of stone. Now this Namekian somehow has the power to not only summon the Dragon Balls to himself, rather than actually going out and finding them with the Dragon Radar or sensing them with Ki, but he can also reset the timer of the Dragon Balls at will. So they arrive at Dende's hideout, and then they summon all of the Dragon Balls and reset the timer immediately so that they can make their wishes. And for some reason, instead of using his telepathic abilities to tell the Z-Fighters that there are people up there trying to use the Dragon Balls for dastardly deeds, Dende tries to stop them himself. I don't know why. Degesu obviously immediately takes him out, but he's not unalived, he just gets knocked out, and Popo is not going to do anything. And from here, Goma is free to make his wishes, so he makes the wish saying that he wishes anyone who helped defeat Majin Buu and their friends are automatically turned into kids again. They go a little bit of back and forth because they have to specify what age they want, so he says first graders, which I don't know why he didn't just say 1 year old if he wants them out of the way completely. And then Shenron has to ask, well, what about the kids who were already kids? And he says turn them into babies instead. And then the end of the episode is everyone being turned into kids in the middle of whatever they were doing, including Goku and Vegeta sparring in the sky. So overall, it was basically more of a recap episode than actually going into Dragon Ball Daima, which is completely okay with me because I loved seeing these iconic scenes reanimated, even if they were just for brief moments. But it's a little bit too early to see about whether the story is going to be good or bad. My main issue right now is a lot of things just, again, seem contrived, like this Namekian who can suddenly just summon all the Dragon Balls and reset the timer, and for some reason Dende not actually thinking smart and summoning the Z-Fighters but trying to stop them himself when he was never a fighter to begin with. But all in all, I actually generally like the concept, and I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, Dragon Ball GT, Goku as a kid again, but to me, it's fine. And the main reason is because I feel like this is going to bring adventure back into Dragon Ball. Because for quite some time, it hasn't felt like an adventurous story. They're not really discovering new things. It's just about getting stronger and getting more powerful. But in this one, they're going to literally explore the entire demon realm, and I'm really excited to see that, especially this is before Dragon Ball Super, so we're not going to see Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue. It's just going to be Super Saiyan forms and using the Power Pole, which I think is a breath of fresh air. I don't know how I feel about the villains quite yet, because this guy clearly isn't all that powerful, and it's not just because he had to wish for Goku and the rest to be kids, but just in general, the vibe he gives off isn't of someone who's strong. Possibly this guy could be strong because he is a Kai, but at the same time, I don't really see him putting up much of a battle against a fully powered Goku or Vegeta, even in kid form. But I am super interested to see the dynamic between him and the Supreme Kai because they are related, and the new character, the sister, who's basically a scientist in the Demon Realm. So in my opinion, they have a lot of cool concepts and characters they could build upon, and I'm really hoping they do a good job with it. Now, as an early prediction, I do think that Goma is going to continue to mistreat Degesa, and Degesa is going to eventually betray him and then turn onto the side of Goku, Vegeta, and of course his brother. I definitely think a majority of how they're going to win is Goma getting in his own way, if he is indeed the final villain. I don't know if he is, but definitely seems like that's kind of what they're going for. Kind of going to be a very similar Majin Buu and Babidi situation, where he's basically having lackeys who are significantly stronger than him, but for some reason they're going to listen to him. For Babidi, makes sense because he takes over their mind. I'm sure Goma probably has something that would actually keep people in line because, again, he doesn't seem all that strong. But those are my initial thoughts about Dragon Ball Daima. First episode was pretty good. It was very enjoyable. I'd give it like a solid 7.5 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10. But like usual, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Did you like it? Do you like the concept of it? Are you kind of sick of the whole Kid Goku thing, or are you generally excited?